This is Rumana Ali. I hope you all are doing great. In today's class, I'm going to start a unit of inter-second year zoology, and the name of our unit is Human Anatomy and Physiology Part 1. The name of our first chapter under this unit is Digestion and Absorption. So you have already studied about the digestive system and the process of digestion in your lower classes. But in this chapter, we are going to learn about the digestion process little bit in detail. So before starting about the digestive system, we all know that food is a basic requirement that is required by all the living organisms that exist on the earth. So food is required to get the energy. When we have the food, it is absorbed by the tissues, it is absorbed by the different cells that are present in our body, and it produces energy, and energy is nothing but it's the capacity to do work. Without energy, we cannot do any work or we cannot do any activities. So energy is required by our body that we can get by having food. And water is also an essential thing that is required by all the living organisms to survive on the earth. This water, vitamins and minerals, these are the things, these are the different nutrients that are easily absorbed by the body. But there are some other nutrients like carbohydrate, proteins, fats. So these are the different nutrients that cannot be absorbed easily by the human body. So for the proper digestion and absorption of all these components, our digestive system contains different digestive juices, different glands that helps in the process of digestion. So firstly, before learning about the process of digestion, I would like to explain you about the digestive system first. In the digestive system, we can see the different parts. The first part is mouth, and then buccal cavity is present. A cavity, a space is present inside our mouth, and in this space you can find the presence of teeth, tongue, palate, and one gland is also present in the buccal cavity, that is salivary gland. Later I'll explain you about the buccal cavity. While learning about the buccal cavity, we are going to learn about each one in detail. So after the buccal cavity, we can find a space, a region is present, which is a common passage for both food and air. And the name of this area, this region is Pharynx. So Pharynx is a region that acts as a common passage for food and air. After the Pharynx, we can find a long pipe is arising, and that pipe is called as food pipe, and specifically we can name this food pipe as Oesophagus. So Oesophagus is a food pipe that extends from the end of the pharynx to the first part of the stomach. After the esophagus, we can see the presence of stomach, and this stomach opens into the small intestine and large intestine. These are the different parts of our digestive system. Besides this, liver and pancreas are also the organs that helps in carrying out the process of digestion and absorption in the human body. So up till we were discussing about only the parts that are present in our digestive system. Now we are going to discuss about each part in detail, how the digestion is going to happen. So before learning about each part, we will first see the definition of a process called digestion. So digestion is a process in which the conversion of complex compounds into simpler one takes place. These are the complex compounds, carbohydrates, proteins and fats. These are complex ones. So they are going to be broken down by our digestive system. So in this way, the conversion of complex substances into the simpler one is called as the process digestion. And in this chapter, besides digestion, we are going to discuss about absorption and even about the assimilation. That means after the absorption of these compounds, how it is going to be utilized by our body parts. That is called as assimilation. We'll be learning about the disorders related to the digestive system also. Anterior opening is mouth, and the posterior opening is anus in our digestive system. So from the mouth till the anus, all the parts are included, and this tract is called as digestive tract, or we can call it as an alimentary canal. So alimentary canal means from the mouth till the anus, whatever the different parts are present that are included, and we can call all the parts together as the alimentary canal or digestive tract. Now we will be discussing about each part in detail. So our first part in the digestive tract, or we can say in the alimentary canal, is mouth and buccal cavity. Mouth is an opening with the help of which we can have the food. We can take the food in. So this is our mouth. Inside the mouth, a cavity is present, and that cavity is called as buccal cavity. We have already discussed that in the buccal cavity, we can see the presence of the different parts. So here, one roof is present, and we know that here nostrils are present. The two holes of our nose are called as nostrils, and the air from the nostrils enters into a chamber. Here a chamber is present, and that chamber is called as nasal chamber. And here our tongue is present. So the tongue, that means the buccal cavity and the nasal chamber, both of them are separated through a structure called palate. So this is a roof-like structure that is present between the nasal chamber and our mouth. That roof-like structure is called as palate. Palate is of two kinds, hard one and soft one. Hard palate is present and soft palate is present. When you see the anterior part of this roof, then it is a little bit hard. Just roll your tongue on the roof of your mouth. You can find the hard. When you continue rolling your tongue inside, as the tongue is rolling inside and inside, firstly you can observe the hard part. As the tongue rolls up inside, then you can find some soft and cartilaginous part, and this part is called as soft palate. So anterior part of the roof is hard, so it is called as hard palate, and posterior part of the roof is soft, and we call that as soft palate. Hard palate is hard due to the presence of some bones, and that bones are maxillary and palatine bones. As these bones are present in the anterior part of the roof called palate, that is hard in nature, and we call that as hard palate. But when you see the soft palate, it is smooth and cartilaginous. This is how we can see the presence of two kinds of palate, hard palate and soft palate. Anterior part is hard and posterior part is soft. When you see the posterior part, that is soft palate, it shows some extension like this. It shows some extension, and that extension is called as uvula. This uvula is the extension of soft palate. This is present just to prevent the entry of food into the nasal chamber. When we have the food, this uvula, the extension of soft palate, it rolls up and closes the nasal chamber, and we can easily swallow the food. So while swallowing, the uvula moves in the upward direction and closes the nasal chamber and helping in the swallowing of food. This is our tongue. This part is our tongue, and around the tongue we can find the presence of the jaws, upper jaw and lower jaw, where the teeth are located. This is about the different parts that are present in our buccal cavity. Here mouth is present, and inside the mouth a cavity is found. We call that cavity as buccal cavity. In this buccal cavity we can find a roof-like structure, and that roof-like structure is called as palate. It is of two types, hard palate and soft palate. Hard palate is hard because of the presence of maxillary and palatine bones, and soft palate is cartilaginous, and the soft palate shows an extension. That extension is called as uvula. This uvula helps in swallowing the food by closing the nasal chamber. And in the buccal cavity, tongue and teeth are also the organs that are found. Now let us talk about a part that is present in the buccal cavity, teeth. So the classification of teeth is done based on the number of sets and also on the basis of shape of the teeth. So on the basis of number of sets, we can classify the teeth into 3 types. First one is monophyodont, second one is diphyodont, and third one is polyphyodont. Mono means one. So if an organism possesses only one set of in their whole life, then that type of teeth can be termed as monophyodont. This kind of teeth can be seen in the whales. And diphyodont means 2 different sets are present. The 2 different sets of teeth appear in an organism. First, one set will be temporary, that are also called as milk teeth, and the second set is called as permanent teeth. This kind of temporary and permanent teeth, 2 sets of teeth can be seen in mans and monkeys. And the next one is polyphyodont. Poly means many. So many times whenever the teeth falls, the new teeth will appear in the organism. So as the organism is showing many sets of teeth in their whole life, the dentition of the organisms are termed as polyphyodont, and we can see this kind of dentition in fishes and amphibians. Let us see the classification of teeth on the basis of shape of teeth. So it's of 2 kinds, homodont and heterodont. Homo means all the teeth will be identical in shape, and heterodont means all the teeth will be different in shape, and the different teeth are present in the human beings. Heterodont type of dentition can be seen in the human beings. We can find the different kinds of teeth like incisors, canines, premolars and molars in the human beings. So incisors are also called as cutting teeth. Canines are also called as tearing teeth. Premolars and molars are also called as grinding teeth. So all of them are different in shape based on their function. When we talk about the dental formula, then we have to write 2 formulas, because in the human being, I already told you that the diphyodont type of dentition is present. That means 2 sets of teeth can be seen. So first set of teeth is called as temporary teeth. So how many incisors, canines, premolars and molars will be present in as a first set? Let us see. So here for the first set of teeth, the dental formula will be 2102 by 2102. So this is the dental formula for first set of teeth, and this dental formula can be written on the basis of the number of teeth that is present only in the half portion of a jaw. So this one is our upper jaw and this one is our lower jaw. In the half part of the upper jaw, you can see incisors, canines, premolars and molars. So 2 incisors will be present in the half part of the upper jaw, 1 canine, no premolars and 2 molars will be present. Likewise, in the other half part of the upper jaw also, we can find the presence of 2102. We can find the presence of incisors, canines, premolars and molars. In the lower jaw also, all the incisors, canines, premolars and molars are present as 2102 in both the parts, in the right and left part of the lower jaw. If you add up this, 2 plus 1, 3 plus 2, 5. In the upper jaw, the left part shows the presence of 5 teeth and the right part shows the presence of 5 teeth. Likewise, 10 will be present in the upper jaw and 10 will be present in the lower jaw. If you add up this, then in total 20 teeth can be found as the first set, that is as temporary teeth or milk teeth. Next, the second set, permanent teeth. So for this we can write the formula as 2123 by 2123. If you multiply it with 2, then it will be 2 plus 1, 3 plus 2, 5 and plus 3, 8. So 8 in the half part of the upper jaw, 8 in the another half part of the upper jaw. 8 plus 8, 16. So 16 in the upper jaw and 16 in the lower jaw. 16 plus 16, it will be 32 teeth in total. So we know that in an adult human, 32 teeth are present. But here some of the teeth are there that will appear in a later period, and that teeth are called as wisdom teeth. Some premolars and molars, they appear after the age of 18 years, and we call that type of teeth as wisdom teeth. So this is about the teeth that is found in our buccal cavity. So we know that in the buccal cavity, teeth, tongue and palate are the parts that are present. So we have already discussed about the teeth in today's class. In the next session, I'm going to explain you about the rest of the parts that are found in the buccal cavity. So that's all for